What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike, and coming through to you real quick. We're just going to do a little bit of early news real quick. And how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Hopefully you're having a great morning this Friday morning. I just wanted to bring a couple stories to everybody so that we could just see what's going on. So right now we got a situation where Fauci's emails have been, Anthony Fauci's emails have been leaked. Anthony Fauci's emails have been leaked, and some interesting things have popped up in them. Let's share this, and let's do it this way. Yeah. They leaked this man's emails. Dr. Fauci says publicly released email about lab leak. See, this is the lab leak theory, which is not really theory. They know, like I said, I posted other stuff showing that this virus is a artificially designed thing. But he wants to defend himself. So he said that the email about lab leak is being misconstrued. An interview on CNN with Dr. Fauci. CNN is nice to him. Okay, they don't want to have egg on their face. But the origins of the virus remain unclear. Okay. But, these are supposed to be scientists and smart, and they don't want to say something. There are some of your critics who say that it shows that you have a cozy relationship with the people behind the Wuhan lab research. John Brennan says to Fauci on New Day, what do you say to that? Okay, it's nonsense. So he wants to defend himself. They let him defend himself. And let's look at that email. All right, so it says here on this man's email, and this is from the brother Blue Pillar 44's Instagram's website, but this email is everywhere. I just pulled it up here. All right, Dr. Fauci, NIH, NIAID, coronavirus bioweapon production method. Now, why would anybody be surprised with that? They have a bioweapons. This is what the NIAID is about, bioweapons. Interferon HIV, so it was fusion with HIV, ACE2, was mixed with 1,000 nanograms of HIV particles, incorporating that envelope, ASLV, and then the SARS-CoV protein, S protein, or both envelopes in PBS 4 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes to allow binding. The samples were raised. Basically, it's giving you the roadmap to coronavirus bioweapon production method. That's the email. Now, there's a lot of explaining. There's a lot of funny business for that. People don't want to believe it. But the bottom line is that's just one email. Another issue here that we have going on is that they're basically admitting that this thing doesn't really, can we really call this a vaccine? The COVID-19 shot. CDC identifies only 10,000. So it's more than 10,000, but they're only going to tell you 10,000 COVID-19 infections in fully vaccinated folks, but likely an undercount. And this is from The Hill. Okay, so I guess, because people have these issues with these things of legitimizing, only official, sources are to be believed, even if the same facts are presented. All right, more than 10,000 fully vaccinated people in the U.S. have experienced a breakthrough. Wow. COVID-19 infection, according to the new Centers for Disease Control, study. Okay. Among these cases, 63% occurred in women, so mostly women, and the median age was 58 years old. Coronaviruses are highly effective. Okay, and that's subjective. Okay, effective. What does effective mean? People play games with words. This is what is happening here. So, the bottom line is you can read that story. We got another story from people don't want to go back to the white people's work there. They don't want to go back to work. Employees are quitting instead of giving up work from home. The drive to get people back into offices is clashing with workers who've embraced remote work as the new normal. All right. A 6-minute meeting drove Portia DeWitt to quit her job. So she had a 6-minute meeting and she was like, you know what, I'm done. She had taken the position as a research compliance specialist in February, enticed by a promise of remote work. Then came the prodding to go back into the office. Meeting invites piled up. The final straw came a few weeks ago. The request for an in-person gathering scheduled for all of 360 seconds. Twit got dressed, dropped her 2 kids at daycare, drove to the office, had the brief chat, and decided she was done. She had to take her children to daycare so she can meet with this person for 6 minutes and abandon her family and her children. She was done. I just had it, said Twit, who lives in Marietta, Georgia. With the coronavirus pandemic receding for every vaccine that reaches an arm. Now, keep in mind, the vaccine is not proven to be the thing that, recedes the virus, because we have, natural immunity. Okay, so that's happening here as well. Yeah. And so while companies from Google to Ford Motor Company and Citigroup have promised, Brother Ilya Rashad, I guess, likes my comment. We'll go into him too, because this is a UFO specialist. So then these stories that I want to get into here is, the government has also admitted that, basically that Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Nation of Islam are correct. And then in the Bible, you have the battle in the sky. These are just issues they've admitted that the UFO are real. Okay. So let's look at this one here. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. I don't know. Maybe not. Government officials admit UFOs are real. Ex-military members fear national security threat. These new government admissions bear witness to the reality of the mother plane taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan for decades. And this is by Anissa Muhammad. And this is in the current edition of the Final Call newspaper. Get it on digital. For decades, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, patriarch of the Nation of Islam, taught that the mother planes and prophesied of the battle in the sky. Ezekiel's wheel in a wheel and in the sky is true if carefully understood. Mr. Muhammad wrote in his seminal book, Message to the Black Man, the mother plane or wheel is half a mile by half a mile and contains 1,500 smaller wheels, each carrying 3 bombs, teaches Mr. Muhammad. There is no known equal of the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. He wrote in one of his other important books, The Fall of America. So the bottom line is, when you start talking about UFOs, you're basically speaking Nation of Islam theology and what the messenger brought to us, the details. And none of his positions have changed since 1930. Okay, the world laughed, and now they're their official narrative is getting closer to, the narrative that Elijah Muhammad was telling us. So that should let us know. That should let us know that, you know, there's a higher level of knowledge in the world, and a lot of ancient secrets were hidden. When we start studying some of these old, uh, you know, ancient texts, you start seeing how, you know, the megaliths and how the, you know, the mathematical precision that was needed in order to build things like the pyramids, or, you know, the pyramids in Mexico, you know, and these indigenous peoples don't have the technology or remember how to build that stuff. That in that knowledge was hidden. And so, you know, it's still out there. It's just the people on the planet were allowed to steep in ignorance for a while. Okay. So bottom line is there's some other knowledge out here, and it's showing itself. It's showing itself. And so, you know, that's the reason why you have a lot of secret organizations, because there's a lot of hidden knowledge. The stuff they just don't want to tell you. And they hide it. It's very high level stuff. And if you can't even grasp that, that's the reason why they have to bring it in slowly, because human, you know, there's a lot of people that are just so dumb. They want to ignore a fact. They want to ignore facts. And then when they learn a fact, you know, for example, I was listening to Brother BGS. He had a panel yesterday talking about, are we Aboriginal Americans or are we Africans? Well, the actual facts is that we're a mixture of both. Now, just because we are a group of people that had been, you know, we were bred. So if you capture an Indian tribe, a Native American tribe, why would you murder them all instead of take them down to the breeding farm, buck break them, and breed them? This is what happened in King Philip's War. So, you know, BGS, he will admit that, you know, there were breeding farms that, you know, Thomas Jefferson was making money off of breeding farms. But then he wants to say that we're not Aboriginal. We don't have the Aboriginal blood. It doesn't make sense now, because the thing is, when you go to a breeding farm, you're buck broken, your parents are forced to produce children. They're killed. The kids are sent into slavery. So they're a mixture of African and Aboriginal people. So that's what part of what we are. And, you know, that history is hidden because it just tells you, you know, it gives us a story to build a narrative that we can win from. You don't build a narrative, then demoralize the people with that narrative. So that's all I have to say today. We just need to understand that there's a lot of stuff going on, and we want to keep up with everything. All right, everybody. Peace out.